Hey everyone, this is my personal story of when I first got my puppy Trixie. So it was in the year 2020, it was before COVID had happened, and I randomly got a text from one of my very close friends. He texted me asking me if I was interested in adopting a puppy, and I immediately wanted to answer and tell him yes because I had been wanting a puppy for so long, but I knew I had to ask my parents first. Later on that day, when my parents got home, I asked them if it was okay if I adopted a puppy. And they were very hesitant at first just because they didn't know if I was going to take care of the puppy properly and if I was going to be responsible enough to have one. But after talking for a couple hours and trying to convince them to please let me have one, they ended up understanding that I was going to keep the area of the puppy always clean and make sure that the puppy had everything that it needed, and they ended up allowing me to adopt one. I was so excited and I couldn't wait to text my friend and let him know that I was interested in adopting one of the puppies. And when I did so, he texted me a bunch of pictures and videos of all the puppies. And one of them, it was three puppies in total. One of them was all white with black spots on it. The other one was brown, and then there was Trixie. Trixie was all black and she had like a white stripe on her chest, and I just immediately knew she was the one that I wanted. She, out of all three, stood out to me the most because she, in every single video and every picture, she was always like in the corner of the puppy bed. She wouldn't really interact or play with the rest of the puppies, which made me wonder why was she not interacting with them and like what was going on. Um, when I told my friend Trixie was the one I was interested in, even he was a little like surprised that she was the one that I picked, but that only made me want Trixie even more. I couldn't wait to pick her up, and when I finally got there, and I had her in my arms, I just instantly knew she was the dog that was meant to be with me. On my way back home, I noticed that she was a little shy at first, but after a couple like minutes of us getting to my house, she warmed up to me. And then when we finally got to my house, I took her a shower, I set up her doggy bed, I bought her a little doggy pillow, and I got her like snacks, her dog food, even like a little lamp for her like to sleep at night, and just anything you can imagine a puppy needs, she got it. um, and the next day, I was very excited to be with her. And again, she was a little hesitant to like play with me at first, but after a couple hours of just being with me pretty much all day, she ended up warming up to me. And then after a couple of days of being with me, I noticed that her personality started to develop. She was very playful. She was very energetic and she was extremely loving. She loves to play with my brothers and like chase them around. And yeah, so I noticed after a couple of weeks of having her that she started to act kind of different. She wasn't her usual playful self. She was more like she looked sad. So this worried me and I took her to the vet. Um, when I took her to the vet, she was unfortunately diagnosed with a disease called puppy strangles. Puppy strangles is a very rare disease that not a lot of puppies get, but unfortunately, Trixie was one of the few that did. And this disease pretty much just makes puppies very anxious and depressed, and there's really no reason why, it just happens. And so when I brought her home, I made sure to take care of her and to give her all of her medicines and just never leave her side. And even though this was a very tough time in her life, I feel like it brought us closer together because we're inseparable. Wherever she is, I'm at, and vice versa. Um, and after you taking care of her for a couple weeks, she ended up feeling a lot better and she was back to her usual self, and I couldn't have been happier. A couple years went by and I still have Trixie, and she has been my best friend ever since. And I will forever be grateful to have her be such a huge part of my life because she has shown me what unconditional love is. And I'm also extremely grateful for my parents allowing me to have her in the first place. Thank you all for hearing my personal story.